I just flew from Madison and Kansas City back home to Southern California, where it is very, very early in the morning. And so when I get home, we can start this episode right. It's going to be a good episode. We're back, baby. Welcome back to another episode of Aero Nicely News. I'm Lenny Hernandez. Today is July 23rd, a Thursday.
I'm thinking I'm back.
I am back in California from my trip to the Madison, and in Kansas City, we are excited because very soon that building will be opening to the public and to the world. That's some good news, and we also have some good news from across all of our Aero communities. So let's get to it. And for our first story of the day, we'd like to give a huge shout out to Rachel Essmeyer, the Resident Services Director over there at the Boulevard Senior Living in St. Charles, Missouri, because she made the national news on July 13th. The story was titled, "Virtual Letters to Seniors Brighten Spirits and Combat Social Isolation." It featured a recent letter writing event that the Boulevard introduced to bring joy to residents during COVID-19. Well, we noticed that Rachel's photo was cut off to show the letters, but fortunately for us, we have the original. Ooh, wow, Rachel over there showing off her Vanna White skills. Thank you very much to Rachel and to all the other resident services director out there for keeping our residents entertained and full of joy. And thank you also very much to A Place for Mom for sharing that with the world. You know, as if letter writing and card making wasn't, difficult enough, the resident services directors across Aero senior living communities have been outdoing themselves lately with creative new ideas on how to keep residents entertained. And last week, what better way to celebrate National Tattoo Day was for some residents to get some new ink. From florals to tribals, residents sported some wicked designs, even showing off some full sleeves to celebrate the day. Don't you worry, because they were all temporary. They were not. Some of them were permanent. Somebody should probably tell the residents. And for our next story of the day, we have a tale of two Katies. Hudson Grande hosted a special happy hour to say farewell to their resident services director, Katie. Not to worry, Katie isn't leaving the Aero family. She's just moving to the new community, VITALIA Senior Residences at Solon, to become their resident services director. And now that Katie is moving on, Hudson Grande is excited to welcome Katie, a new Katie, a different Katie to the team. Best wishes to Katie, and thank you for making those names easy to remember. Birthdays, bunnies, and fitness, oh my. This has been a very busy week across Aero communities as fitness centers have begun to reopen across the country. A big shout out to all the residents who have been pushing to keep themselves physically fit, because I know I have been doing a very bad job with myself. So if anybody wants to do a fitness challenge with me, let me know. And did we say bunnies earlier? Because some baby bunnies made a surprise visit at the Fremont Senior Living Lodge earlier last week. These teeny tiny little baby bunnies, ooh, they're so cute, were spotted by the shrubbery near the Independent Living Lodge and were surprisingly photogenic. Oh my goodness gracious, look at those little bunnies. I just want to put one in my hand and just pet it all so slight like this. Ooh, baby bunnies. They got adorable ears. I love them. Well, in rounding out our stories for the day, we'd like to give a special shout out to all of the birthdays and anniversaries from this past week. Rose and Wally at the Boulevard Senior Living in St. Charles celebrated 60 years. He is away at rehab, but they were able to meet and celebrate virtually. Peggy at the Fremont turns 95. Marie at Fox Run turns 96. Eleanor at Strongsville turns 95. And so a happy birthday to Peggy, Francis, Marie, and Eleanor. Please, share your secrets with us. Please, what is the secret? Well, everybody, that'll wrap up today's episode of Aero Nicely News, and parting is such sweet sorrow. We will be back next week to lift and keep your spirits high, or at least hovering just a few inches off the ground, just like this. Tune in next week as we recap Spirit Week across our communities. I'm Lenny Hernandez. We'll see you next week. Peace and power to the people. Goodbye.